All right, let's get right into it. India's employment laws, some of which have been on the books for decades, have just gone through a massive, massive overhaul. We are talking about a fundamental shift in how the Indian workplace operates. So, for the longest time, if you were a business in India, you had to navigate this incredibly complex web of 29 different central labor laws. I mean, imagine that a tangled system where every law had its own rules, its own paperwork. It was a lot. But now, all of that has changed. Those 29 laws have been boiled down, simplified, and consolidated into just 4 straightforward codes. That's it. From 29 down to 4. It's a huge move towards making things clearer and way more efficient. So the big question on everyone's mind is, what does this actually mean for people on the ground? For the businesses trying to grow and for the millions of workers across the country. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. Okay, first, let's look at the big picture. These 4 new codes are now the law of the land. They create one single unified rulebook for employment that covers the entire country. And at the very heart of all this is a really interesting balancing act. On one hand, the goal is to improve the ease of doing business, to give employers more flexibility. But on the other hand, it's about expanding the social safety net to protect every single worker, many for the first time. Think of this new system as being built on 5 key pillars. You've got registration and paperwork, rules for wages and hours, workplace safety, how disputes are handled, and finally, reporting and audits. Every business, no matter the size, now has to follow this same clear blueprint. So let's switch gears and look at this from the employer's point of view. What does this new world actually look like for them? The whole idea is to change compliance from just being a headache into a real strategic advantage. And this slide really nails the change in mindset. Before, compliance felt like a burden, right? Endless paperwork, confusing rules, and a constant risk of lawsuits. The new thinking is that good compliance is actually a strategic asset. It helps you build trust, it lowers your legal risks, and it shows you're an ethical, modern company. So what are the practical changes? Well, a big one is that everything's going digital. Businesses have to register online. Every single employee now gets a formal appointment letter. There's also more flexibility for larger companies when it comes to layoffs. And a lot of the reporting is now done online with options to self-certify, which really simplifies things. And just to make sure everyone's paying attention, there are serious teeth to these new laws. We're talking about pretty hefty fines for not complying, which can go all the way up to 5 lakh rupees, and in some serious cases, even potential jail time. All right, we've covered the business side. Now let's flip the coin because this is really the other half of the story. This is about the human impact and how this whole thing expands the safety net for millions of workers. And this number is just mind-boggling. The new codes are designed to bring around 40 crore, that's 400 million workers from the unorganized sector into the social security system. We're talking about gig workers, platform workers, people who were completely on their own before. So you might be wondering, how do you pay for all of this? Well, it's a 3-way partnership. The employer contributes, the employee contributes a bit, and the government steps in with support, especially for those who need it most. It's a model designed to be sustainable. Now let's look at some of the actual benefits, starting with the EPF, or the Employees Providence Fund. Basically, think of this as a mandatory retirement savings account for employees, a nest egg that grows over time. And what's really cool are the updates. The EPF is now portable, which is a game changer for gig workers who move between jobs. Your funds can now follow you automatically. Plus, the built-in life insurance has been boosted significantly, up to 10 lakh rupees. Next up is ESI, the Employees State Insurance. This is the main health and wellness plan. It covers everything from doctor's visits and hospital stays to maternity benefits and pay for when you're too sick to work. And again, the updates here are huge. ESI now covers platform workers. It's partnering with top-tier hospitals for specialized care. And maybe most importantly, there's a new unemployment benefit. So if you lose your job, there's a financial cushion to help you get back on your feet. Then we have gratuity. The easiest way to think about this is as a long service bonus. It's a lump sum payment an employer gives you as a thank you for staying with the company for a number of years. And the big change here is all about fairness. In the past, a lot of contract workers didn't get this benefit. Not anymore. Now, employees on fixed-term contracts are entitled to the exact same gratuity as permanent employees. It's about equal reward for equal service. So, When you pull all these different threads together, the new rules for business and all these new benefits for workers, what kind of picture does it paint for the future of work in India? Well, we're not just talking about ideas, we're seeing real results. The move to digital has reportedly slashed paperwork by around 70%. And because the rules are so much clearer now, there's been about a 30% drop in employment-related lawsuits. That's a tangible impact. And this whole effort isn't just about India. It's about aligning with global standards. By creating a transparent, digital system that people can access on their phones, India is pushing for what's called decent work for all and lining up with the UN's big sustainable development goals. And that really brings us full circle. This is a complete paradigm shift. In the new India, labor compliance isn't just some boring administrative task. It's a core part of business strategy. It's how you build trust, how you boost morale, and how you protect your company from risk. So the new framework is here. The ambition is huge, a workplace that's simpler for businesses and safer for workers. But the ultimate question is still out there. Will all of this truly create the more empowered, protected, and compliant India it sets out to be? I guess only time will tell.